we throw out the amazing record that the Oklahoma City Thunder has earned to begin the 2024-2025 NBA season. We throw out the fantastic numbers and we look at this team just purely off circumstances. I think they're one of the few teams in the NBA whose tough circumstances has been largely overshadowed by their amazing play on the basketball court. And we look at these tough circumstances I'm alluding to. I think the biggest one of them all is the injury bug that this team has been hit with to begin the season. To start this year, they were without both of their backup centers. They were without their backup big, who I'm assuming, Jalen Williams. I'm assuming that he was going to be the third string center this year for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think they were going to play him at the 4 coming off the bench, but they were without their third string center, and then they were also without the second string center, new addition Isaiah Hartenstein, who the Oklahoma City Thunder, they had huge plans for him this season as far as him playing an intricate role for this team. So they were without their 2 backup bigs, and this means a lot, especially on the basketball court, because when you have your center out there, your center is like the most they're the most likely to get into foul trouble, because their number one job on the defensive side of the ball is to protect the rim. And when you're protecting the rim, you're constantly jumping, and you have to jump without contesting. And luckily for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Chet Holmgren, he's one of the best bigs in the NBA when it comes to blocking shots and not giving up fouls. And he came out this season for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he really put on a show, and he set the tone for what kind of season this was going to be for him individually, and then also the way that he was playing. It showed us what type of season that this was going to be for the Oklahoma City Thunder. In his first game of the year with no backup bigs, no true backup big. I know they had Dang. They played Dang in that game a little bit. His minutes has gradually decreased as the season has went on, but no true backup big playing against Jokic, who right now, in my opinion, is the best center in the game of basketball. You look at the way that he's playing, but in that game, Chet Holmgren outplayed him, and he looked so much better than what he looked last year, and he looked pretty damn good last year. So Chet Holmgren, he came out and set the tone, letting us know that even though we don't have no bigs, there's nothing to worry about, because I'm going to hold it down until my guys get healthy. And that's exactly what Chet Holmgren did. And unfortunately, 10 games into the season, he has suffered an injury. And luckily for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe they had to go Chet got injured in his 10th game, and Isaiah Hartenstein came back the 16th game of the season. So only about 5.5 games the Oklahoma City Thunder had to go without a big, and that is honestly very scary, man. The center position is so important. We just look at some of the things that we can, the basic things that come off the top of our head offensively. The center is responsible for setting screens, diving to the rim to relieve pressure, to create space, setting off ball screens, grabbing offensive rebounds, and then defensively securing rebounds, protecting the rim, communicating, talking. So there's a lot of this. The center position is responsible for a lot in the game of basketball. And we look at the Oklahoma City Thunder going through this, basically, playing Russian roulette with their centers the whole season. Not having their 2 backup bigs to start the year. They have one of their backup bigs back now, but now Chet Holmgren is out. With all of this going on, we look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been doing amazing so far this season. They've won 6 out of their last 10 ball games. They're second in the Western Conference with a record of 12-4. And you guys saw in the title that I said that the Oklahoma City Thunder, that they're being a dominant basketball team right now, and they're not dominating in the way that we expect, or not at least the way I expected it, and this says a lot about this team. Now, I thought the Oklahoma City Thunder, I thought they would be an offensive led team this season, and it's definitely not too late for that. Just as of right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're definitely winning games predicated off their defense, because their offense is nowhere near to full strength and how explosive and high dynamic it can be. But the defense so far this season, it has been on another level. And What's so impressive about this defense to me is their ability to adapt and their ability to be so versatile and throw different coverages and throw different schemes out there. Now, we talked about the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been #1 in defensive rating all season long. Chet Holmgren goes down the 10th game against the Golden State Warriors. He played a few minutes in that game, and he obviously didn't come back. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been able to hold on to that #1 spot in defensive rating without Chet Holmgren for around 6 games. And we all know how amazing Chet Holmgren is on the defensive side of the ball. He's an elite rim protector. He really changes the way teams try to go at the Oklahoma City Thunder on the defensive side of the ball. So to be without him and still be able to maintain the best defense in the NBA, when you have other teams in the league that has some really good defenses, teams like the Boston Celtics, teams like the Houston Rockets, teams like the Orlando Magic, I think this says a lot about Coach Mark, and it says a lot about the Oklahoma City Thunder. This defense has been special so far. And we look at the personnel that the Oklahoma City Thunder possess, it makes a lot of sense why they're so elite on the defensive side of the ball. We look at them having a defender like Lou Dort, who is so good at defending out on the perimeter, and it's really a thing of beauty. There's not many two players in the NBA that can navigate through a screen like Lou Dort. He is so powerful and he is so quick, and he's also very determined. You can see that some guys, they love playing defense. And then this offseason, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they go out, move Josh Giddey to bring in Alex Caruso, literally the same type of defender as Lou Dort as far as their skill level, as far as their impact on the game. Both of these guys are high-level defenders. So even when they lose Chet Holmgren, who's also another guy that's one of the best defenders in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they still have two of the league's best defenders at their disposal, Alex Caruso and Lou Dort. And Alex Caruso is one of those guys that can make highlights without having to shoot the basketball. He's the type of guy that if the ball is going into the crowd, it's going out of bounds, he's going to go dive it and save it, throw it to his teammates, and then that leads to some type of crazy alley-oop or fast break bucket, which does so much for the team and it does so much for the crowd if you're at home, and it does so much to demoralize the crowd if you're on the road. So little things like that matter so much. So now the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're in a position where they have two of the best point of attack defenders in the NBA when it comes to guarding the opposing team's best perimeter scorer, or the guy that initiates the offense. So when you have that at your disposal, it makes life so much easier for everyone else around you, especially when you have a bunch of other guys that want to defend and are open to being coached. And that's exactly what the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's exactly what they are. And before Hartenstein has gone back into the lineup, we seen them go to their small ball lineup where they were able to be competitive. We take away that game that they lost when Chet Holmgren went down. We look at them past that, they lost 2 games to the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks, but they were able to stay above 500 until Isaiah Hartenstein got back in the lineup. But we saw them throw Jalen Williams and Lou Dort, throw them guys on the opposing team's big. And when it came to when it came to pick and roll situations, they just switched everything. They're rebounding as a team, and they get a lot of steals. There's a lot of ball hawks on this team. They're #1 in defensive rating, and they lead the league in steals as well at 12 steals per game. And we know Shai Gilgeous is a ball hawk, Jalen Williams is a ball hawk, Lou Dort is a ball hawk, Alex Caruso, Wiggins, Kaysen Wallace, AJ Mitchell. The list goes on and on with this team for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they're so gifted on the defensive side of the ball, and it's really been something that they can lean on this season until they get acclimated on the offensive side of the ball. Because right now OKC, this is nowhere near as good as they can be offensively, and they rank 13th in the league in offensive rating. I definitely think as the season goes on, that number is going to shoot back up. So that's really what I want to touch on today. The Oklahoma City Thunder, when guys go down, they have other guys stepping up and raising their level of play. Jalen Williams, the way he's been performing these last few games, he might find himself playing at All-Star weekend. That's definitely possible. He's been lights out with the absence of Chet Holmgren, raising his level of play, not just in the scoring category, but rebounding and making plays for his teammates as well, and then taking on that role of physicality, having to be that small ball 5. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Shai Gilly, one of the best shot creators in the NBA. Not just one of the best shot creators, but one of the best drivers of the basketball. And he's Mr. Cool. He do one of the toughest moves, get one of the toughest buckets, and he just run backs. He just run backs on defense like nothing happens. And then you got these great collection of role players: Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso. You have all these amazing role players, and now they just got Isaiah Hartenstein back, and we saw how amazing he can be in his debut game coming off the bench for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He had the highest plus minus on the team, and he had a monster game rebounding the basketball, exactly what they brought him to the Oklahoma City Thunder for. So I think OKC right now, you can't ask for a much better start than this with all the turmoil that has transpired to begin the season, the offensive struggles, and then literally having about 95% of your front court decimated. So it's been really fun to watch. I've been impressed. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.